What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Diablo Immortal, aka the Immortal Podcast. Today, Nemo and I are here with episode 11, and you're sitting here wondering, what the heck are these guys going to talk about today? And to be blatantly honest, we're kind of wondering the same thing. We have a few topics we're going to be touching on today from what we heard about Diablo Immortal, and we're going to be taking your questions because in this podcast, it is a community event. It's you, us, and, well, everyone else. Nemo, what's up, man? How you doing today, buddy? Yeah, well, I mean, so reminder to everyone about the Immortal Podcast. The format is we come in with a few topics that we plan on discussing for the day, and then we have you guys take over with the reins. You throw us questions that you may have in the chat, and we answer them here. This is also going to be available as a video afterward, probably an hour or so after this airs. It will be available on my YouTube channel. If you want to check out Nemo as well, you can check out his channel, which is in the description of this video, where he also brings you Diablo Immortal content. He's actually working on something really special right now, so you could look forward to that very, very soon. But Nemo, my man, how do you feel not playing Diablo Immortal or hearing anything about Diablo Immortal? It's been a month plus since BlizzCon Line. How are you feeling, man? Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, I missed the game, right? I was kind of to be really honest, I was kind of hoping the game would be out by now, right? We're sitting in March, we're getting close to April. I'm thinking, when is the game gonna be coming out? But we already talked about that there's gonna be multiple stages to the testing, right? So, and
Mm-hmm.
if that's the case, and if they're gonna be bringing the game out in 2021, like every month is getting closer and closer to that runway getting smaller and smaller. And I wonder, when are we gonna get it? So my next thing, I'm thinking maybe we're gonna get it sometime in April. What do you think? What do you think, Echo?
Well, my prediction was March. I really thought we were going to see something in March, but as we sit here, there are 10 days left in March. Does not mean we were maybe aren't going to get anything. Nice mug, Nemo. Doesn't mean that we're not going to get something in March, but it does mean that the odds of getting something in March are a little bit less. So, I mean, what I typically am going to do is, oh, if it doesn't come in March, I'm anticipating it coming in April. I mean, it's got to be soon. We talked about the release, and I don't want to go too deep into that again, but how they have to spend time and how they have to have it ready by 2021, done, like released by 2021. So, they have to be on point with it, and we have to be seeing something soon. But that brings up another topic that actually came through in my Discord server just yesterday. I actually recorded a video on this, but we can give you a little sneak peek to the conversation that we had here today. Nemo, the App Store has been getting updates for Diablo Immortal regularly. They're still coming through. So to you, there's no technical alpha, there's no beta, there's no anything like that. Why is the App Store getting updates? What does that tell you that's going on within the development team? What's going on, over there with Blizzard themselves?
Sure. So every update means that they're changing something within the game itself, right? So they are doing testing, and in fact, from if you listen to what they said before, the reason the alpha test that we all played, well, some of us played, was about 2.5 weeks, was because they were getting a lot of data. Originally, they weren't even going to have the test be that long, but we were told, like, as the tests are going, they said, "Oh, we're getting a lot of really good data. We're going to continue moving this along because we're doing really well." So now they got all the data, they're doing all the testing, and they're basically running all of the patches and things they need to fix things and get ready for beta or the next test or whatever it is that's coming. So every time the Google Play Store gets an update, I'm thinking, is today the day? Is it going to be the day? Because that's what
Yeah.
it's honestly going to be, right? As soon as they put out the last set of things that they want to fix and they're ready for beta, they're going to turn it on and get it going. Now, when is that? I don't know, but we're getting closer with every update, I feel like. What do you
Yeah.
think, Echo?
I mean, I agree. And updates mean that changes are happening. Updates mean that things are being fixed, things are being added. So, I mean, it shows that progress is happening. It's just sad that we're not involved in any of that progress. Like, we're not there. Like, I wish that I had the game on my phone still and I could just continuously test, until the game came out. Just test it and play it. And I mean, really just keep my hands on the game. But that's not how they're doing it. Obviously, they're waiting for things to be ready, for certain benchmarks to be met, And then when that's met, okay, let's pump this out to content creators. Let's pump this out to another region so that we can have more people testing this thing out and more people seeing what it's all about. And that's where they're at right now, right? They're making sure that it's right for them. And when they feel it's right for them and they're happy with it, when things aren't broken, and you know they have a high standard, we've seen this over the last 2 years, then they're going to pump it out to us again. It has to be soon. It has to be. I mean, I anticipate that we're going to get some kind of a message or a meeting or an interview or something that's going to happen before this. So once I get a ping on Discord from someone from Blizzard, I'm going to be like, okay, this is going to be coming soon. We're going to have it again soon. And what are your plans, Nemo, when the game does come back, when you have it in your hands? Now, again, it's going to be a beta or an alpha, which is going to be wiped. So it's not going to be something that you can progress and maintain that progression. What are you going to do? How's your day going to change? Because I know that your nights are very, very filled right now with Valheim. I would call it an extreme addiction that's crumbling your life.
or making it better. I mean,
making it better.
But you know what? You're right. Step one to any kind of addiction is admitting that you have one. And I got one. I have 400 plus hours in Valheim. And it's been like, I don't know, a week and a half. But I have a lot of exciting things that I'm going to be doing when Immortal comes out. In fact, for the last every day I wake up, I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I have a lot of plans. So I thought, okay, so Immortal comes out, we have a test, right? They said there's going to be 3 different tests. So we'll have a test for Endgame, we'll have a test for Necro, and we'll have a test for Crusader, I'm assuming. Okay, so that's like 3 tests at minimum. Now, if that's the case, we're gonna go. So if the first one is gonna be Endgame, I'm picking Wizard and I'm going crazy with her. I'm gonna explore the Wizard all the way to the end. I'm gonna try to get all the legendaries. I'm pretty excited about it. There's a couple of other things that I want to do. Like, I was watching my videos and making videos, and I thought to myself, man, if I had this legendary, or if I had this set, so I have a lot of ideas for the Wizard. That's my plan if it's Endgame. If it's Crusader or Necro, you know what I'm doing. I'm jumping into one of those, and we're just gonna go hardcore into, because I've played with all 4 characters just like you have. So if when the Necro or Crusader comes out, I'm gonna be on that like there's no tomorrow. What about you, Echo?
Yeah, so I mean my prediction, and again, these are just predictions, these are just thoughts. I was thinking that we're gonna get a character and a couple of stages. So we've gotten to stage 45, level 45 character. The level 45 stage means we're gonna have a level 50 stage, a 55, and a level 60 stage. So 3 more stages following or preceding Billifin. I thought that we'd be getting one character, which it would either be the Crusader or the Necro, and I thought we would be getting those 3 stages. Now, I could be 100% wrong. It could literally just be the stages. And if that's the case, Nemo, you already know. Everyone in chat knows what I'm going with already, because I've played them all. If no new characters are brought to us, Nemo, what am I gonna play?
You're gonna be the barbarian, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the barb. I mean, I'm barb for life. So I mean, part of me says, Echo, you should really try the Wizard again, because that's the one class that I didn't max. I got very close, but I didn't max it, and I feel like I didn't give it the chance that she or he deserved, because I didn't get it to max level, where the Barbarian, I got past max level and it was like, okay, now this guy's a beast. So very well could have enjoyed the Wizard more, although I did enjoy it, just wasn't my favorite class, if I got it higher level. So I'm part of me is like, maybe you should play this a little bit more, Echo, to give it that fair shot. But then I'm like, I just want to go smash things with the barb. That's really it. So because in the first alpha, I didn't push heavy into Paragon. I got myself to max level on most of the classes, and I just want to see those experiences. The next time around, I really want to see Paragon. I want to know what it looks like and what it feels like to grind Paragon, which some of the other creators did. Some of the OG Diablo 3 people, they didn't go into all the classes. I know that Bloodshed did. He was the one guy, I believe, that did all the classes and literally like Paragon them all. The guy was insane. I want to really see what Endgame looks like, especially because we're going to be able to get to Endgame. Like, it's going to be level 60. That's going to be max character, which is going to be another 15, maybe even 20 hours of gameplay to get there. Like, remember, it took us about 15 to 20 hours to get to 45. Things drastically slowed down between 40 and 45. So imagine 45 to 60, Nemo. I mean, what's going to happen to your Valheim time, man? What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, what's gonna Diablo Immortal is my my baby. So it was when Immortal comes out, I'm doing Immortal. Obviously, I'm not cheating on Immortal ever. If there's some extra time, I'll do some Valheim. But you made up a good point, dude. What about like so if we do the end this I didn't think about this too. If they're doing end game stuff, right? We're gonna be able to see the final modes because remember Wyatt talked about a few of those, right? There's some final modes like Elder Rift PvP maybe mode or something like
Hmm.
that. He said to talk about Elder Rift systems and other stuff. So are we gonna have different game modes as well? Are we gonna be able to see the full shebang? And what if there's PvP? If there's PvP, does that change your character? Because like the wizard PvP is gonna be really tough at first, right? You got to really max her out, get the sets right, so she's good. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna see PV. I think PvP is gonna be the last thing that we see. I think
Hmm.
I think they know what's going on with the stages. They know what's going on with the lore. They know what's going on with the heroes. I think they are still thinking about how they really want to finalize PvP. I think that's the final piece. And that's probably going to be the last thing we see. Now, will we maybe see an event that goes on in the game like we saw in Billifin in the first technical alpha? Yeah, we probably will. But the actual mechanics of it, and again, I could be wrong. They could be doing that right now. But I don't think so. I think that's going to be the final stage of everything. And yeah, I don't know.
Those Billifin fights would be pretty. I mean the fights, the PvP modes that we did with just to spawn the chest thing, that would be actually a lot more fun if there were a lot of people involved, right? Because
Yeah.
on our server, it was kind of a little lonely at times, right? It was basically like me, you, and then when you get in there, you see like a Leviathan and a couple of others so just sitting there waiting for the chest to explore. But I did talk to some people who played the Australian server, and they said that those things are absolutely insane. They said that it just gets crazy. There were battles, there were teams. It was one of the most fun events. They said maybe because the server was empty is why we didn't really like it that much.
Yeah, well, I
So
mean,
it's really
my
cool.
my only experiences inside of the PvP were I went two, maybe three times, and they were all uncontested. No one was there. That's because all of the
Wow.
people, all of the content creators that were here with the technical alpha, most people were grinding endgame. And because I wasn't, I was still playing on normal while they were on hardcore or hell. So I was going to these events on normal, which is basically a different world than they're in. So I was going and there was no one there. So I got to beat up a boss and get a free legendary out of the chest. So was it cool? Yeah, it was cool. But was it what it was supposed to be? No, I actually never experienced the full PvP element of the game the way that maybe you have, well, when you got trashed when you went there, or the way
Yeah,
that some of
dude,
the others did.
it's not fun.
Well, the
I just
PvP
got
is going to
murdered
be
by
fun.
Leviathan.
A
Yeah.
Leviathan. And someone just said it. Am I going to push? I think it was Red October. Am I going to push to beat Leviathan inside of Diablo Immortal? First of all, I don't think there is any beating Leviathan. He is. See, I'm a content grinder. Leviathan, although he does content too, he is a game grinder. He wants to be number one. He's going to put in the time. He has his schedule to be the best inside of the game. Me, I want to be good. I want to be able to have fun and compete, but very different than him. I cannot do what he does, and that's what makes him incredible. You know, he really does that push and has that ability to grind. Plus, he understands these games and like these guys that are OG Diablo people, this isn't a game. This is math to them. It's like they break everything down into equations on builds, and there's literally equations on how to do this stuff. And talk about understanding a game. These guys understand it to the decimal. Is, I guess, the best way I could put it. So I'm not going to be a competitor on that level. Plus, I've never been a leaderboard person. So like, if I go back to shooters, right, like Call of Duty and Gears of War, like all I ever cared about was like my KD. I wanted to have a good kill death ratio. I never cared where I was on the leaderboards. And I know that action RPGs are more leaderboard important, but for me, I'm not going to care where I am. I'm going to want to have these grinded characters and then go into these PvP events, these war events, and really enjoy that more than I'm going to spend in the what was it, the Elder Rifts, where you get the crests and the gems. What was the name of the other one? What kind of rifts were they?
Challenge Rift.
Challenge Rifts. So the Challenge Rifts I'll mess with, especially if there's rewards associated with a Challenge Rift, but I won't spend a ton of time on them. How about you, Nemo? Do you care about leaderboards and stuff? Or if there's a cool multiplayer aspect, would you spend more time in that?
That's a good question. I'm not like a Leviathan. I don't set alarm clocks around chess
Yeah.
spawns, and he does do that. Yeah, to echo your point, he
Mhm.
does. I like saying to echo your point. I don't know. I keep saying that every episode, but
Okay.
uh,
Fits.
he does. What he loves is efficiency. So he runs specific routes, and he will fine tune it to where the spawns are, just to be able to get more stuff and keep going, and just be as efficient as possible
Mhm.
when he's grinding. And he'll do it with one character. He'll set times, alarm. It's gonna be really tough to beat him. And you're right. I mean, is it really gonna be like I don't really think that to me that's not really fun. I do like the challenge rifts because you get rewards if you're on top. So
Yeah.
I am gonna try probably when the server first gets there, just the first week, because it's gonna be super tough
Yeah.
to
It
like
is.
compete. The first week, I'm gonna try to place in the top 10 for the wizard, and I'm gonna try to get my my legendary crest because that's what you get. You get legendary crest. You get a bunch of other stuff for the top 10. It's weekly and it's per character, so you can grind and try to be on top for some other because Leviathan's probably gonna be doing
Demon
DH,
Hunter.
so I'm
Yeah.
gonna go wizard. It'll just be easier. If you go barb, then that right there is legendary crest. Top three spots. We should do it or try. What do you think?
That's not a bad idea. I like that. You know, the whole strategy here would be choose the least popular class to give you the best odds of getting to the top of those leaderboards, right? Choose the class that's the least popular that no one wants to play. Which what is the least popular? I mean, Wizard was the most popular. Barbarian has to be the second. I'd say probably the Monk would be the least. If you were to poll the entire community that played the Alpha, I would say that Monk was probably the least popular played. Although it was my second favorite class. I just feel like the Monk is just not as popular. People love Demon Hunter. Obviously, people love Wizard. I don't know why. I would have never guessed that Wizard would have been the most popular, but it was. I don't know. Well,
I love her.
I know.
She's
Well, the Wizard was, and I said this recently in a piece of content, that the Wizard probably had the best synergy of skills, right? Being able to, out of all the classes, they all did this, but the Wizard did it best, being able to combine this skill with this skill to have this effect. And that's something I didn't even dive too deep into in Diablo Immortal, Nemo. Like, I didn't even realize until 30 or 40 hours into the game that you could do that kind of stuff, that they actually played together like that. So that's going to be something I really can't wait to dive into again, especially with the Barbarian, to see if there's what I can use to make him even stronger. And I want to take a second here, and I think it's some time that we give some shout outs to people that have been coming in here. So we have According to Goat, we have Opos, we have Said. I'm over on YouTube right now. Martin, Kenny, we have Red October's in the house, and I'm going to come on over to Twitch. We have Madness, we have Rebel here. Looking at some of the OGs, Darth Angel, Red October again over here. Casey's in the house. Thank you guys so much for coming through. We understand right now that there's not a bunch to talk about with Diablo Immortal because we haven't heard much, which is why we try and break this down. So you guys that are here in these streams now, even though you don't know when you're going to get the game, and even though you don't really know what's happening, you guys are like really good supporters, so we appreciate it. So do we have any questions? I see that someone asked a question. I'm going to call you out right now. We also have T McVenom and Harsh in the house. What's up, Venom? Hope your trip is going well. I'm going to call you out right now, Nemo, because we're very honest and blunt here. And it was said in the chat, where are your videos, man? Where are your Diablo Immortal videos? What are we expecting? Like I said, I know that you have something planned that you're going to be doing, but I'm putting you on the big cam right now, Nemo. Everyone's looking at how nervous you look. Where is it? What's coming? Give us an idea of what's going on.
okay. You want to know what's coming, and you want to know why I haven't been putting out Immortal videos?
I want to know whatever it is you want to share, man.
Sheesh, man. Talk about putting you on the spot. I feel the light.
Told
It's
you.
like here and
I
here.
told you.
I'm sweating. How do I look? So
You
no,
look great, man.
things are good. I am planning a lot of stuff for Immortal. I've been watching some of my videos and kind of been analyzing stuff. To be honest with you, the reason I don't really have a lot of Immortal videos at the moment because I am working on stuff, but there really isn't a lot of information out. Right? You put out the latest and the best as far as content goes. I was kind of planning, I'll be honest with you, the way I was looking at stuff, I was assuming the game would be out by now, or at least another test would be out by now because we are getting to the crunch time. So to me, I was going to have content out ready when the game, was going to be available. So my runway kind of ran out. So there isn't really much to talk about. So I didn't want to squeeze too many videos out, but I do have a couple coming. So there's going to be starting next week, there'll be a 2 videos a week coming and we'll see what happens. Hopefully the game is out. Like honestly, I'll I'm expecting the game to be out any week now. And then as soon as the game comes out, I'm going back to being daily.
Refreshed.
Honestly, just waiting. There isn't really anything like I'm not like there's any problems. I'm not switching games. I'm not turning, to doing Minecraft videos or anything like that. Don't worry. As soon as the game is out, I'm going back to being daily. I actually saved 2 weeks of vacation, 2 weeks of vacation, ready to go for when the next test drops. So don't
Uh,
worry, I'm still here.
Honestly, Nemo, I think you said before that Diablo Immortal is your number one. It's what you're going to be doing. It's going to be your main gig, right? I don't think
Yep.
you're ready to drop Valheim, so I think you're going to have to drop your career, man. I think you're going to become very soon a career YouTube creator, um, because I don't think you're willing to drop Valheim. I think you love the game too much, so you're going to have a Valheim channel and a Diablo Immortal channel, and screw IT. I mean, who needs that paycheck? YouTube is where it's at, right?
For sure, dude. For sure. I mean, well, I mean, when I make it big, grow up and become a full-time YouTuber, 100%. I would love to make Valheim videos. In fact, I do have a second channel. I'm gonna try to make some videos. Immortal is number one though. So maybe while Immortal is kind of doing this thing, I'll get the Valheim started. But no way I'm ever gonna be leaving Immortal. That's my baby.
Yeah, and if you guys are curious about Valheim or what it is, it's a PC game on Steam, open world. It's like Minecraft for adults, Viking era. It's a great game. I was addicted too, and I put out a few videos. And for me, if I'm not making content on it, I just don't have time to play it. So sadly, I don't play much with Nemo anymore. But he did put a video out on his channel exploring and showing around his base and how insane it is. It's on his Scrappy Machines channel. So if you want to go check that out, go have a peek. It's kind of an experimental channel for him, trying to figure out where he's gonna go, and it looks like he's gonna be doing Valheim there. We do have a question from the Void Playground. Thanks for coming through, man. He says, "How do you guys feel about ultimate abilities? Do you feel as if some classes have OP ultimate abilities, or do you feel it's balanced?" Nemo, you want to take that?
Mm.
If not, I could
I
jump
do
in.
think. Well, I'll do a quick one and then let you roll with it. I love the abilities. I think it's a really cool add to the game versus the old school Diablo. Like there's a couple of things that they added and have improved. I feel like abilities is one of them. I feel like they're balanced right, and there's synergy between all the classes. They were perfect. I liked all of the abilities that I've played with so far. What do you think, Echo?
I'm just sitting here replying to Red October in the chat right now. Um,
No.
um, I think they're all honestly, and this is something I've said a lot. Ultimate abilities, classes in general. I think Blizzard has done an amazing job at building this game as a whole. Right? It's been done, in my opinion, as perfectly as perfect could be, especially for an alpha. I have my favorite classes: Barbarian, Monk, Demon Hunter, Wizard. That's the order so far from what I've played. Although the Wizard is my least favorite class, I think they are all extremely balanced. I mean, a lot of people did say, some of the people that really frequented the Wizard said that the Wizard was a little bit squishier than a lot of the others, like maybe a little bit less strong than the other three classes. For me, like I said, that's the one that I didn't dive as much into, but I felt like there was a lot of everything was really balanced as far as their abilities, the amount of HP that they had. Now, obviously, a barbarian should have more HP than a wizard, and that's why you're going to be a tank rather than being in the backfield. And that's why I struggled with the demon hunter and the wizard. I'm a tanky player. I don't play in the background like you. You cower behind me and try to protect me. Where I'm here to protect you, Nemo. I will step in front of you to save your life, while you're always the guy that runs. So a wizard is more of a class for you, and for me, I will go out there and stick up for my friends and family and be right in front. No, I'm just totally kidding, but that's I mean,
I
my
love
play
it.
style is like that. I like to get in the front and just get on top of the enemy, like literally on their tile, and just spam the buttons to attack, and that's why I like that. And I'm really excited to play Necromancer because it's Necromancer, but honestly, I don't think I'm gonna like the Necro as much as I like either the Crusader, and I have thoughts on that, or the Barbarian. I don't think the Necro is going to take my love of the Barbarian away, but I could be wrong, because Necromancer, for those of you guys that don't know, you basically summon the dead. You summon all these dead things, and they all fight for you. So you don't have to throw any punches. In other words, I mean, obviously you can, but you have these dead things, demons fighting for you. It's kind of cool.
Echo's fired shots here, man. At the wizard, at me, man. It's getting crazy over here. At the necromancer. I agree though. There was lots of you bring up a good point about. I mean, I know we're kind of getting off subject here, but you bring up a good point. Now, the classes, they have a lot of synergy, right? And you mentioned like the barbarian, he's super tanky, you're a beast. You get in there, you start spinning and slashing and doing stuff. You don't care as much about being squishy, right? Or just being melted down. Versus the wizard, you got to be like on your feet. You got to keep moving. Not about running, okay? And not running away. More like, you know, more like reconning and circling around and doing a bunch of stuff. You don't want to sit still because, well, at first, especially, she can't handle too much damage, right? You can't run up to the boss. I tried. I was playing with the barbarian first. I'm like,
Hmm.
all right, this is great. I put the wizard in. I run in there to the boss and I insta die. Like
Yeah.
it was like a completely different experience. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on? Not the same. But that's what I like about the wizard. It's different. What's great about it is different completely from other classes, and that's kind of what the cool thing about synergy is between them, right? So you could play with one class and be completely one play style, play with another class and have to totally change, or you're gonna die. That's
Yeah.
great. Now, as far as the necro, what I like about a necro in general, if you look at the Diablo and whatever else, they're very balanced, but they're I would say a hybrid class. It's not really melee. It's not really DPS. It's kind of in the middle. You do summon a bunch of pets and stuff. So
Hmm.
like in Diablo, I have a necro where I think I have like 11 or 12 different things that are running with me. And I have a little army. So it is kind of cool. It's a different play style. You don't have to run away too much. You have your minions doing stuff, but it's kind of cool. Same thing with the Crusader, right? Tanky has a different synergy. They're all going to be very cool, and it's going to be tough to pick. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick with the six, although Wizard is my favorite for sure.
Yeah, it's cool though that we don't have to pick. We can play all the classes at the same time on an account. The battle pass that we're going to purchase is going to be a one-time purchase per month. So if you purchase it, it's actually effective across all your accounts. So if you want to get the least amount of value from your battle pass, you will play one character and you will play one character for the month and you will get the battle pass reward one time. But if you decide to play all six characters, you will get the battle pass for six different characters, paying for it only one time. So if it's $5, $5, you'll get six times the rewards the more characters you play. Now, obviously, you shouldn't just play characters for battle pass rewards, but there will be things that can help progress your accounts because there's no seasons. So if I decide to grind every single class to max level in the first month with the battle pass, I'm going to be getting so much value out of that. And those characters are always going to maintain that XP. They're going to maintain the gear that we get for them and the gems that we insert. It's going to be forever. And now obviously there's going to be new stuff coming all the time. Metas are going to change, better gear, better things are going to come out. So we're going to always want to change it, but I mean, I think it's really cool, and I keep going off tangent, but I think it's really cool that they are not being cheap on this. Blizzard very well could have said the battle pass is for one class. Like if you play Clash of Clans, there's no way to make multiple accounts off of your main account, right? So in Clash, I have my main account, and if I want a new one, I create a new account, and I create a new account. I buy the season pass on my main account. It doesn't work on my second, my third, or my fourth accounts. For you have 9 accounts or something. It only works on the one you purchase it for. Blizzard could have easily gone this route. It's accepted. This is how it works. But instead, they said one account, as long as your characters are attached to that, you could get that battle pass for free on all the other ones because you bought it on one account. That's incredible. That's saying right there. And a lot of people, they say, oh, pay to win and the legendary crest and how that's, they don't like it. But when you look at how they're trying to make this as fair as possible while still trying to be able to support the game and make money, I think they're on point. I mean, I couldn't be happier working with Blizzard on this whole project just because of not only the game, which is initially, I didn't come on to this saying, oh, I want to work with Wyatt and Blizzard because that would be so cool, although it definitely is. Who doesn't want to work with Blizzard? I went on because I was in love with the game. And then the perks of that are you get to work with an incredible team, creators that have been in this space forever that are just awesome, a really nice community, and just a change up from what I'm used to, just a different way of working from what I'm used to working with other companies and Supercell and things like that. So tangents are being jumped. Like my topics are completely going all over the place right now. But
No
yeah,
worries.
in a nutshell, Blizzard is doing it right. That's what I'm trying to say. Nemo, my voice hurts here. Can you take that question from Vinny over on Twitch? Are you there or no?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
That's a good point, Vinny. So Vinny's talking about the dynamics, the team dynamics, right? And that's something that I talked about a lot as well. I do feel the taunt gem, and that's the mocking laughter. Don't even get me started on that because I have like the highest level gem I first got was the mocking laughter. What's mocking laughter? It's a gem that allows you when you wear it, basically you can taunt enemies and they come to you. It attracts all the enemies to you. So if you're a tanky type of player, right? You could be the front person, so to speak. So there is kind of a team dynamic there. We don't know how raids are going to work. I'm pretty excited about the raids part of this, to be honest with you, because I feel like that's more of a team dynamic, right? With the in a raid type of a gameplay, you have basically bosses, you have some puzzles. There's a lot of coordination that has to get involved. So I feel like that's probably where you're going to be like looking at certain classes and thinking, okay, if I get a barb, we're marking laughter and become the tank while we have our wizard who is sitting behind doing stuff, and then we have a specific type of monk and a specific type of a set of characters to beat
Hmm.
certain dungeons and raids. That would be kind of cool. That would definitely something that I'm looking forward to, and I feel like that's the game is set up for that. Now, as far as how that's going to work, it doesn't really work like that in Elder Rifts. If you watch us do Elder Rifts, you just go in there and just blast, right? Same thing with Challenge Rifts or gameplay. But I feel like the raid system is where that, Vinny, is what you're talking about, would work. The synergy between the classes, and you having to pick specific ones. I'm looking forward to that. Is that a good question?
You know, Nemo, I wonder. So mocking laughter, like we kind of laugh at it because it's a gem that you would think you would never want to use. But what would happen if I could build a barbarian class that's basically immortal, something that could heal itself from striking, use the mocking laughter to lure in and pull in all of the enemies, and then we could have a wizard, a necromancer, we could have a demon hunter behind, and I'm literally the tank taking all this damage and not really dying because I was able to put together an immortal build. Funny that it's the name of the game, and then have everyone doing the DPS behind that are just completely safe because my mocking laughter gem was able to pull in and lure in all of the enemies. That could totally be a thing, and mocking laughter could be an amazing gem inside of the game if we could build something like a barbarian to an immortal, into an immortal space, something that just it won't die no matter what.
Like
Potential.
that's a good point. Or maybe a healer behind, right? We could have some sort of a healing class as well that keep you alive while you're smashing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A
I wonder.
Crusader is another good one, by the way. A Crusader would also be something that would be like a tank with a lot of abilities like that, being able to heal. From what I understand, actually, I don't really play Crusader too much on Diablo, but there is, I believe, a healing Crusader build that will allow you to do exactly what you just said.
Okay.
100%.
I don't have much experience with the Crusader at all across any of the Diablo games. So I'm far from an expert on that. But I mean, if that would be a better class if any class that can go up there and basically be untouchable, even if it doesn't do a lot of damage, let's say I would sacrifice the attack damage from that, let's say barbarian or crusader, but instead of having strong attack, I would have strong shields and healing elements. My attacks aren't doing much, but charging up all these skills that I have, and then all the damage would be coming from behind. I mean, there's so much that we could do with Diablo Immortal. There's going to be more classes coming. We know it's going to launch with 6, but they've already said that the plan is to have more classes over time being joined to the game. And they're not going to bring classes that are just another skin that does similar stuff. They're going to bring classes that actually are going to have a reason, something they could do. So I would highly anticipate that there's going to be some type of a straight up healer class, like something that we would know from WoW, where you're in the back and you're not doing much damage. I mean, whoever wants to be the healer? Really, no one wants to be the healer, but we could make someone be the healer and just basically put a healing aura on us the whole time. And I mean, that could be a new class coming to the game. I don't know. There's tons that we could do. And I think we're getting towards the end of any of the questions that have come through the chat also, Nemo. It's probably going to be a little bit of a shorter episode today. Is there anything that I missed?
There is one question that I do have on the list here. Someone asked if there will be world bosses in Diablo Immortal.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take that one, or do you want?
I want you to take that one, Nemo. What do you think?
I think there will be bosses. In fact, there were world bosses in technical alpha. If you there were some. There was like you could spawn a world Hydra if you've seen that. There was a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of other like there was one time I remember I forget was it Billifin? I think I was running around somewhere. I think it was Billifin. And all of a sudden it said like I believe Hydra or world boss was spawned. And these bosses are going to be, from what I understand, huge, lots of health. So it's going to
Yep.
require multiple people. You're not going to be just be able to go in there by yourself and take them out. but they will be there. They'll provide really awesome rewards, and I think it's going to be like a timed world event where as soon as it spawns, you'll get something on the map says world boss has spawned, go, and everybody just runs to it to try to kill it to get the best rewards. So it's definitely going to be there. I'm pretty excited about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like the haunted carriage, I believe it was called, right? That spawns in the zone and everybody could join. And that's going to bring in the whole open world element of the game. People are going to be able to, everyone that's in the zone, or I don't know how they're going to break it down, but there's going to be that thing saying this thing just spawned, the Hydra spawned, it's going to be here at this time. You're going to have people that aren't in your alliance, that aren't in your guild, and that are just in the world with you, joining in to play together with people you don't know. And that's what makes this like worldly and cool and gives you that open world element. I mean, we're not talking open world like WoW, but we're talking a heck of a lot more open world than any other Diablo game we've ever seen before. And I mean, that's going to be a really nice feature. And who knows, that could be a great way to like, because the chat system and because the social element of the game is so good, and you could literally click on a character, chat with them, you could see all their stats. You could find people to build into your guild. Like if you have someone that you run into in a world event that's just a boss, you could check them out. You could drop them a message. You could be like, yo, join up on the Discord server. Let's play together. And you could make friends from this kind of stuff, which is really cool. And the people that really are awful in these events, you could know not to respond to their messages when they message you. But yeah.
That's a good point.
Lime says, do you think we'll be seeing a rogue class as Diablo 4 is announced? It would be nice to have a very fast slicing character in Immortal. I mean, I think that any class is any class that's relevant that's not already done in some way could be part of Diablo Immortal. I mean, I've said it before. I think there's going to be more crossover in features from Diablo 4 and Diablo Immortal than we're anticipating. They're basically making two Diablo games at the same time, and there's no restrictions on mobile that you would have on PC. It's basically just a different control mechanism. What I'm saying is the mobile phone can do the same things that the PC can do. So if there's amazing things being built on mobile and they are proven to do well, I would anticipate seeing those same features or one similar in Diablo 4 and vice versa. If Diablo 4 has a mechanic to it that people love and that's really used, I would think it would be silly if we didn't see it in Immortal. So I think there's going to be a lot of crossover. That could be with way that the game is played. That could also be with just different characters that are used as well. I mean, if the Rogue is the number one played, most favorite character inside of Diablo 4, there's a chance it could come to Diablo Immortal. I mean, they can make anything happen, really, if as long as people are going to enjoy it and use it. If it's going to make people play the game more, why wouldn't they bring it, right? They want people to play the game. So, yeah.
Dude, 100%. Every class is on the map. In fact, Julian Love, in the interview that I was at, he's the lead combat designer for Immortal.
Mhm.
He said that any class is on the table, new class, old class. There, as long as the key, like you mentioned, they're focusing on the fact that it has to be different, has to have its own unique synergy. It can't just be a different skin of the same thing. So as long as it is different, everything is on the table. That's really exciting for Immortal. Another thing I wanted to quickly touch on, if we have a second,
We do.
you mentioned the whole bleeding over from bleeding, that's a good point, from
D4.
Diablo 4 and other games, right? There is a couple of modes that I was really, really excited for. In Diablo 4, they talked about a mode that's called kind of like an extraction. I don't know if you've played there's a lot of different actually games that do this, right? You get into a zone, it's a PvP zone inside, and when you get all of the cool stuff in the zone, the only way to get the stuff out and bring it with you is to extract from it. But as soon as you start extracting, it tells everybody, hey, someone is getting away with all the gear, and everybody just goes to attack.
Hmm.
So a coordinated kind of push, like the Division has that, if you ever played that, or a bunch of other games. So you can go in to this crazy zone with some of your friends who have your back and everything. You get this cool gear, and then you have to, turn the thing on and survive to get out with it. That could be a really cool one, and I think it would work really well on mobile. Maybe when Wyatt was talking about like this new PvP mode or whatever else. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, man, imagine it's that, because D4 is going to have that. And I love that in Division. It was like the best mode. It kept the game going. I feel like that mode is where it was at. Like whoever's going to turn rogue, because even like you could find people that you play with, and all of a sudden, like right when the gear turns, some of them could turn on you and say, hey, I'm not your friend anymore. Take the gear, kill you, and then run away with it. It just creates like a lot of crazy stuff. So I feel like that would be a cool one.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I agree as well. I mean, anything that you could have open world events like that, It all depends on how you want to work in that open world. You could totally be like that scumbag that's going to be fight with you until the end and then steal your gear at the end. I mean, that makes this stuff kind of fun. And that could make there be anger amongst guilds, and that could lead into guild wars, which could be, okay, you're angry at me for stealing your gear, let's have a war. And that kind of stuff could be really cool. We have a few questions coming through which I want to grab before we shut down the show. Do I reckon the game will be going on for a few years? Bailey's asking. And now most mobile games don't have a long life. I mean, Clash of Clans may be the longest living, or one of them. It's like 10 years it's been going, and it's doing pretty well right now. So that's kind of crazy. I easily anticipate 5 years out of Immortal. Nemo, what do you think?
Oh, yeah, easily 5 plus. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think that it actually will have an end game. I feel after, not just because Blizzard and the way they run stuff, if you notice, like all the games, they go on forever, right?
Yeah.
There's no end to them, and it's good. That's what we want. They
Hmm.
develop the games and continually push and continually give us content and give us stuff. If you listen to anything they said about Immortal, that's exactly what they're doing. They're not planning on stopping. They have tons of content, and the idea is they're going to continually push and keep going. There is going to be no end to the game. They want to support it forever. I mean, I know there isn't forever. That's not something that happens in this universe,
Yeah.
but it's going to be a long time. I feel it's going to be more than 5 years. I feel honestly, I think it's going to be 10 plus. That's
Yeah.
what I think.
I agree with you on that. I think 5 years, I could easily say 5 years, unless if something drastically goes wrong, but it's not going to. We've already, I mean, think about like Cyberpunk, right? That was supposed to be the best thing, and Anthem, the best things, and they completely crashed. But Diablo Immortal's already proven itself with the technical alpha that it has what it takes, and it's prepared and ready to go. It's already in a better position than those two monster games that were supposed to take over the world and are literally like dead. So yeah, I could easily say with confidence we got 5 years in Diablo Immortal, if not more, and I would highly anticipate there would be more. We also had Evan saying, will we be announcing what server we're joining? Definitely. We'll be making content on all that stuff. Nemo and I will be joining the same server. And to answer T McVenom, whose guild will you be joining? Nemo's or Echo's? Well, you'll be happy to know that Nemo and I are teaming up on this. We're going to make a guild together. We're going to be in a guild family, just like we've done in Clash of Clans. I don't know what we're going to name this thing, man. I think it needs to be focused on Echo, not on Nemo. I don't know. I mean,
That's fine. So here's the thing. We already talked about some of it. We're not going to just have one guild. We're going to have multiple guilds
right.
because 150 is not going to be, or 148 is not going to be enough, right? There's too many people that want to join us.
Hmm.
So we're going to have multiple guilds. You can name the first guild. It can be your name as long as the second guild. We have to have one guild that's only the wizards. This is my love. Only the wizards. They're going to be called Scrappy Wizards, and they're going to be in the clan. And I'm going to be in that one as well as this one as well. So, but we're going to have multiples. If you could do that, then you can name the first one.
All right, that's fine. I mean, I don't know how that's going to work though. When you're talking about guild wars, if you take 150 wizards to war, that's going to be a problem.
Good.
That
It's going
account,
to be OP.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You need one immortal barbarian in front. That could be me. Just one with
Well,
mocking
we
laughter.
could do that. That's a good idea, actually. We could do that. 149 wizards and Echo.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll hold it down for you guys. I'll tank everyone. But
Sounds good.
yeah, so that's going to be cool. I don't know what we're going to name it. If you do want to join our guilds, the best way is to stay in touch. So we have the Discord server. Actually, Nemo has his own Discord server as well. But for the most part, if you're active in our Discord server in the Immortal section, then we're going to get to know you. Like Red October, he's in there all the time. He's become a friend of ours. He has an opens position in our guild when that time comes. If he wants to join, he doesn't have to. It's up to him completely. But if we know you, you get first dibs on it. And then, like Nemo said, we're going to have divisions of it. So once our main alliance fills up or our main guild, we'll open up another one and we'll figure out how we're going to organize them. Like maybe like hardcore spender OP players that are just living Diablo Immortal in this guild. Maybe you have free-to-play players and, in this guild. I don't know how we're going to break it down, but we will always have enough for family, and we'll have people that are kind of leading some of the other guilds if we don't happen to be there. But Nemo, my man, we think we're done for the day, man. Any last things you want to mention before you go besides promoting your stuff?
I'm really excited for the 150 or 149 Wizard Guild and Echo. So I'm, I'm really cool. No, I had a blast today. Honestly, it was a really good time. We had a lot of fun here, hanging out with all of the fam, all of the folks that come in. We got Redneck over here. We have Red October. We have a lot of people. Void Playground. Everyone, thanks so much for supporting us. We love you guys. We can't wait for Immortal, man. We have so many plans. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Like me and Echo, we talk. There's a lot of secret stuff going on that you can't fully tell you yet. But we're going to be doing some really cool stuff with the guilds and all that. I'm really excited for all that. Come on, Immortal. Let's hope that it comes out April 1st. Okay.
April 1st.
April 1st is a joke, right? But then it's real. Thanks so much, Echo, for having me. I appreciate everyone. Don't worry, videos coming very soon. A couple of days, I'm gonna back up.
Yeah. Nemo, thanks for coming. It's always a pleasure to have you. Remember, guys, all his information is in the description of this video when it's a video. And if you did miss this, I see some people coming in now saying, oh, I missed the beginning of this. Well, it's available as a video in about an hour once it processes on YouTube. I'm literally just uploading the live stream. So if you missed it, you could go check it out, see what we talked about, see what we blabbed on about. But I appreciate all you guys coming through. The next Immortal podcast is going to be episode 12. It's going to be in 2 weeks from now, unless if we happen to get the technical alpha this week, then we would have an episode next weekend. But we'll see. We will see. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you come through for daily videos for Diablo Immortal on this channel, and over to Nemo, who's over here, whenever he decides to start putting out that amazing content yet again. But have a great day, guys. Enjoy yourselves and be good.